What's that say?
There we are. They changed that up.
So what do we got to do?
Got
Hang
to
on,
remove
people.
that.
Hang on, people.
Now, we're back. We're back.
Facebook's there too?
Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
And it says that I have to now be a premium member to Twitter or X to live stream there. So I have to see how much that costs. If it's worth it. We got some fans over there. So what you have to see?
How's everybody doing on this special Saturday?
Special for us.
It is.
It's very special. Very special for us.
On this day, 15 years ago, I had a routine appointment.
You did?
I had a routine checkup for what was going to be my last visit to the OB doctor. And I got there and they checked my blood pressure. And of course, I was so ready to give birth because I had had a long pregnancy, a long sick pregnancy.
You did.
And they took my blood pressure and it was literally off the charts. So they said, we're going to let you sit there a little bit and we're going to check it again. This man right here beside me, I'm going to say something and I'm not being mean. You just got to sit through it.
Okay.
He's never, ever prepared. He's never prepared. He's always, I have to kind of lead the way as to what we need to do to get something done.
I'm a fly at the hip type of guy.
He never does anything in advance, for goodness sakes. But this particular visit, he packed my bag to go to the routine checkup, and he packed his bag. And I told him the whole way we were on the way to the doctor visit, I said, you are crazy. I said, I'm going in a scheduled C-section, January the 7th.
Well, your blood pressure was high at the house.
It was.
And I kept telling you, they're going to do it today.
And I said, no, they're not.
They're going to do it today. We are not coming back home. They're going to take Mary Carl today. And you and your mama thought I was a little on the crazy side.
I said, you pack that bag all you want to, but we coming right back home. And my appointment was at like 10 o'clock that morning. So here we go in our little Honda Civic to the hospital. My pressure was up the second time. And they said, okay, we're going to give it one more chance. And if your pressure is not any lower, then you have what's called preeclampsia, which means it's dangerous for both you and the baby. And we are going to have to make a decision as to what to do. Did you eat breakfast this morning? I said, yes, we stopped at Jack's and I got a gravy biscuit. Do you remember that?
That's right.
And they said, okay. So it was, 10 o'clock at this time. I'd eaten at like 9 o'clock. Took my blood pressure for the third time. Little lady, or big lady at the time, big lady, you're going to have a baby today. I said, oh my goodness. I like to think things through. I like to be able to be prepared. And this was not what I was expecting. So we had to go in this little room behind this curtain where I had this monitor on because obviously now the baby's in danger and I'm in danger because of the blood pressure. And every, what felt like 30 seconds, the blood pressure would be checked and it never went down.
Out. It was like those old school
like
line
EKG.
Printers. Yeah, it was and it print out this long.
This was in 2009. You would think things would have been more advanced.
And it just kept curling. I mean, the floor was just covered in paper right there. You remember?
Yes, I do.
I don't know what they were checking with. I guess it was checking the baby.
But the
Carl
the noise. Do you remember the noise?
Yeah.
It was just
that old school line printer. The one that's got the holes all the way down the side, and the paper is that green color.
Yeah. So my mama went with us, didn't she? How did she get there? Did she go with us for that checkup? I think she did, Jason.
I can't remember.
She was there.
She had a friend bring her up there.
But I thought that the friend took her home,
I can't
not
remember.
brought her up there
I
because
just
she
don't
had no way
remember.
to get
I
home.
don't remember her being in there when that printing and all was going off.
Probably a good thing. But needless to say, they said, well, you got to wait 12 hours before you can be put under anesthesia
Because of the gravy biscuit.
because of the gravy biscuit. And I thought to myself, oh,
12 hours.
you have got to be kidding me. I got to lay here with my blood pressure going up and this machine printing this stuff for 12 hours. Well, it couldn't be 12 hours because the latest that they had an operating room or something was 7:00 that night.
Yeah.
So I was scheduled for a C-section at 7:00 that night.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very long day.
It was because we kind of sat in that little room.
In that little room.
Mhm.
I don't know where that room was. It was at the old UAB labor and delivery.
It's before the women's clinic or whatever it's called now.
So Mary Carl was born, obviously, December 28th, which
Yep.
was today. January the 1st was the first, no, like the next day was the opening of the new Women and Infant Center. Because you remember they gave like $10,000 to the first baby that was born.
It wasn't gonna be the next day, but it was opening soon.
It was the first baby born of the year.
And the first baby born of the year got a free scholarship to UAB.
Yeah.
That's
And
what it was.
I was trying to get her to hang on, and she wasn't. I mean, I was like, baby, do you know how much this means to me to be able to have a scholarship to UAB for free? And you can't even just cooperate for a few more days.
Oh, goodness.
She didn't cooperate.
She didn't.
So my doctor that I'd seen the entire almost 9 months was out of the country. She was scheduled to do my C-section on January 7th. She'd be back by then, but my doctor was not there. And that did not make me happy.
Yeah, that kind of made us a little nervous.
It's okay. She's going to stop. Jason's a little bit nervous because Polly's scratching her collar. But I didn't like the fact that the one person I'd seen the entire time was not going to do the delivery.
Yeah.
So scheduled C-section because I had had a surgery a couple of years prior to remove a cyst. And my doctor did not feel comfortable with me giving natural birth because it could cause a lot of trouble with the previous surgery that I'd had. So C-section it was. I so remember Jason being in there and that curtain being there, and they couldn't get her out. You remember that?
I don't know if that's everybody or what. I didn't know what to expect.
Well, I don't want to scare anybody on here that's scheduled to have a C-section or whatever, but I think it was an hour before they got her out.
They had a hard time getting you fully numb, and I didn't expect all the pulling. That threw me off, was all the pulling.
I could feel it, y'all. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was not at all what I expected.
And then, of course, I get Mary Carl out, and I've been reading all this stuff, and there's like 3 things that they check for, and then crying and 2 other ones. But the crying, I just remember Mary Carl never did cry, and I was worried about that. But when they got her out, and the nurse heads over to the weighing station where they weigh her and they check her all out, and they said, come on. And so I'm following, and there's Brooke still right there. And I was like, don't look. And I did not look. And I had a buddy of mine that did look, and he told me that was the best thing I ever did, was not to look, because it's not good. So I'm so glad I did not turn around and look and just kept my focus on Mary Carl.
No, she wasn't a bigger baby. She was 6 pounds something. 6 pounds, 8 ounces.
Everything checked out fine except the crying part. She never did cry. And so then they start to go into a tizzy because she's not crying. Yeah.
I'm over there, telling them I'm about to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm about to throw up. And so somebody's trying to tend to me, but very, very not concerned with me compared to what was going on with her because she didn't cry. And Jason, they're telling him to look at her, but yet, didn't they told you to go out, didn't they?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they never made you go
I don't
out?
think they ever made the only time they made me go out was when they were doing.
Yes, Mary Cross 15 today.
And, they were going to, start sewing you back up and stuff. And so.
But y'all, she did not cry. And finally, what did they do to make her cry?
I can't remember.
It was several minutes later before she cried.
And I may have been gone by then.
So, no, because you were up at my head and I kept telling you, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And they were like, just hang on. Just hang on.
Don't you want to see the baby?
We want you to see the baby.
Want you to see the baby?
And at this point, I was just like, I don't think I can see a baby right now. And I started throwing up.
The anesthesiologist is the one that helped you out there.
I started throwing up. And they had to put me back asleep to control the nausea because it's terrible.
I hope that the new place has a better spot for the dads. So when they take you back,
have a better spot for the moms
when
too.
they take you back, they come over there and it's in a hallway, and the door where they double doors where they took you back, they come over there and set a chair in front of that door, and there's a clock on the wall. And that's where I sat. And I just sat there, and it was so late that there wasn't nobody up there. Zero. There was no patients, no other ladies, no other dads, nothing. And so I'm just sitting up there, and literally I can hear that clock ticking, just click, click, click. And I'm like, and I was sitting there at 7. They didn't come get me to 7:45-ish, somewhere around there.
So you could come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me the epidural and they kept, hitting on me. Can you feel this? I was like, yeah, I can feel that. And they kept saying, I don't understand why she's not numb. She shouldn't be able to feel this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I still feel that spot in my spine to
Really?
this day. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything.
Huh.
It's just a little bit, it's a weird feeling where that epidural went in.
Interesting. But yeah, today's Mary Carl's birthday.
Today's Mary Carl's birthday. Should we go into what happened next? Do y'all want to know what happened next?
Mm-mm.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's too much information.
No, it's just we had to stay in the hospital for a week.
Oh, yeah. We did stay in the hospital for a week.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So we finally got into a room. My mama ended up going home to get some rest. And so, the schedule was 2 days later, we'd be going home.
Mm-hmm.
So we got into a room, and I'm, of course, still not right. And it was, I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened. Did they bring her in the room?
Yeah, they brought her into the room.
Not that first night, though.
No, not the first night. And then we had a friend that was a doctor that told us that, listen, they were going to take care of everything. So you need to rest. That most parents, the baby's just born, and so they they want the baby in there all the time, and you're already exhausted. And
let that baby go to the nursery as much as you can.
Yes, and get your rest, because she's going to come home, and you're going to have plenty of time to spend with her to let the nurses do their job.
And so they would come to us, and they'd be like, okay, we can keep her in the nursery tonight, or she can stay, in y'all's room. And I felt so bad. I mean, I felt so bad because I was telling them to take my baby away, but then I was not feeling good at the time. And Jason was kind of, just overwhelmed by the whole situation. So we'd let her stay in the nursery. And it's a good thing we did.
It is.
Because we were planning to go home on that that second day. And I go to the restroom with help of Jason. And I get to the commode, and I told Jason, I said, I feel like I'm fixing to pass out. Didn't I tell you first?
You did. You didn't even get there. You got to the door and you said, I'm fixing to pass out. And you did. And you passed out. And then I was holding you. And then I was like, how am I going to get these nurses in here without screaming? And then I remember that chain above the toilet. So I reached over as far as I could, and I grabbed that chain and I pulled it. And of course, she came on there, and I said, "My wife just passed out." And I swear, y'all, before I got it out my mouth, there were 15 nurses in that room.
And I don't remember too much anything after that until I got back to the bed, and I can remember a doctor mashing my fingernails. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I thought, why is he mashing my fingernails? And he was looking to see how much blood loss I'd had. I know that now, but I didn't know it then. And they, I mean, there were doctors and nurses everywhere trying to figure out what was going on. So the next thing we were told is I was losing blood, and I was they were either going to have to figure out where it was coming from, or I was going to have to go back into surgery for them to exploratory figure it out.
Right.
And so a lot of blood work, and I was told that if I did not get a transfusion, then things were going to be bad, and I needed one immediately. And so I, of course, agreed to it, and had, the first lady came in, and she had to sit there with us.
Yeah.
She had to sit there with us the entire time that the blood was being given to me, to make sure I didn't have any kind of reaction.
Right.
And I'm O negative, so that means I can have any kind of blood. I can have A, B. Most of you probably already know that, but they have to make sure that your body can accommodate the blood. And so she was a little foreign lady. I don't remember what nationality. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I can remember sitting by the bedside, and then they finished with the first thing of blood, and they'd swap it for the next one. And lo and behold, my numbers started going up, and they started stabilizing, and they didn't have to go in and do exploratory surgery, which is what I was so afraid of. I thought, I don't want them going back in there trying to. But in my mind, I was thinking, there ain't no I know why. All that tugging and pulling. And sure, I lost a lot of blood, but my numbers were good.
Yeah.
After giving birth, that was after that they crashed.
Right.
So still don't know where all that blood loss came from, but I'm thankful to be here, and we got to go home the day of the Alabama National Championship game, January the 1st, 2010. Was it the first? No, it couldn't have been the first, because we were in the hospital a long time.
I was there 10 days, I think.
10 days. I think it was 10 days, 10 or 11. But here we are.
15 years later.
15 years later. And that's probably not the reason we didn't have another child. I think we were already decided that one was enough.
Yeah, and our age too.
Yeah. I was 34 when I had Mary Carl. And I mean, I could have had another one, but at that age, I realized real quick it was hard to take care of a 2-year-old at 36 versus 26.
That's right.
So I don't regret not having one sooner, because we wanted our ducks to be in a row. And here we are, all in a row. We're all in a row. And we're thankful for one glorious, beautiful 15-year-old daughter.
And she wanted to go out to eat. That's what she's been wanting. She's been telling us.
Now this sounds like she wanted to go out to eat right after she was born.
For her birthday. That's what she's been doing. That's what she's been wanting to go out to eat. And she had a heart set on the Bama Bucks, because here recently she's been on a kick of it. She had gone away from it. Everything we try to eat, either we grow or we know somebody. And she had kind of, not that she's eating fast food and all that kind of good stuff, but she had kind of veered away from that in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so now she's back to it again.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to go there because she wanted the quail. And they were closed. They're closed for the rest of the year. And so we're like, oh, goodness. And so I got on the hunt, and I could not find a restaurant within an hour and a half or so
that had quail.
But I found one that had.
Well, finally she said, I don't have to have quail.
I don't have to have quail.
I don't have to have quail.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm so glad of?
What's
I'm so
that?
glad that we looked at Bama Bucks to see if they were open
And not
because,
drive all the way over
oh
there.
my goodness, what if we had drove? Well, it's
Yeah.
a little over 2 hours and got there and they had been closed. We would have been eating at fast food.
Oh goodness. But we ended up finding a place that had roasted guinea fowl, and she was like, I want to try it.
And y'all, this is so far away from the norm.
Yeah.
This is not the norm. To try something new.
It's not the norm.
And so then
it's like the old
yeah.
before the teenage years.
Yeah.
Mary Carl.
Yeah.
When the teenage years hit, it switched around, but now it's back again.
So I told her, I said, we can't find anywhere that has quail. And she said, I don't have to have quail. I said, well, you know what? Daddy found somewhere that had guinea fowl. And she was like, ooh. And so then Jason couldn't remember where it was. He was like, I don't remember where it was.
Oh, goodness.
And I told him, I said, I think you told me where it was. And if so, this was it.
Yeah.
And we looked it up, and lo and behold, thank goodness you told me, because we would have been going through all your search features to try to figure out the restaurants that you tried to find.
But I did find it, and we went there last night and had a wonderful time. And it was Central in Montgomery was the name of the restaurant.
Yes.
And it was really good.
It was.
It was really good.
I tasted the guinea. I had read about it previously. Not that I didn't want her to get it, but I wanted to know if I thought she'd like it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want her to order something. I wasn't going to tell her.
Right,
but
right.
My mind was, I don't want her to order something and hate it. So I read about guinea and to see what the flavor was. And it says it's like chicken with flavor. Did you taste it?
I did.
And so I thought, chicken with flavor. You know, most chicken's bland. Most chicken's bland.
It is.
And the piece that I had was dark. Was yours dark?
I don't know. She just handed it to me, so I couldn't tell.
But
it was good.
It was good. It
really
had
good.
A lot of flavor.
It did.
And she ate and ate and ate and ate and enjoyed it.
She did. She had a wonderful time. We all shared a salad, and we all shared the dessert, which was gingerbread creme brulee. Creme brulee is probably my favorite dessert. It's up there.
Well,
I absolutely love creme brulee.
They asked us if we'd save room for dessert, and we'd been staring at the menu. And Mick Carl said, "Well, I haven't had a chance to look at it.
She'd been eating.
She had been eating." And so my mind skipped over that top one. I don't know why, but then when she saw it, she immediately said the gingerbread creme brulee because she loves gingerbread.
Yep.
When is she getting her driver's permit? Well,
probably in January sometime.
Yeah, I don't. Our office in Chilton County is only open on certain days, and of course, we got New Year's coming up.
Yep.
And I've got to get a letter from her homeschool cover school.
Yeah.
That she is enrolled in school.
Right.
I kind of dropped the ball on that. I've been thinking about it. I haven't reached out to them, and which shouldn't be hard though.
Yeah, that should be easy.
But you have to have your original Social Security card.
Yeah. Your
original birth certificate.
Right.
And proof that you are enrolled in school before you can take your permit test. And the lady, we had to sit at the bar while our table was getting ready. And she was like, where do you go to school? And Mary Carl was like, well, I'm homeschooled. And they had been carrying on conversation
for a good little while.
And the girl looked at her and she said, I am so proud of you. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's fixing to come out of her mouth? And she said, you are so social to be homeschooled. She said, a lot of homeschooled kids you see, and they're just, a little nervous, a little shy, a little nervous. And Mary Carl is not like that at all.
Not at all.
And I'm thankful for that. I'm so thankful for that, because I would say both you and me were that way at her age. Oh,
I've always been. I'm an introvert. Big time.
I was then. I changed. But back then I would have sat here and I'd have nodded my head, but I wouldn't. And my mom would have been like, answer somebody when they talk to you. But she's very communicative.
That's right.
And we're proud of that.
Well, thank you, Riri, for I'll make sure Mary Carl gets that.
Oh, that was sweet.
That was sweet. Oh, me. But speaking of sweet, I was going to tell y'all. So I got a package in the mail. I'm just going to show y'all what we got going on. Y'all listen to this.
If Mary Carl wasn't awake, she is now. Do y'all know what that is? It's time to celebrate.
Better cut off before I get demonetized.
Isn't that the truth? Don't want any lyrics to come across.
But I had a lady, Miss Joyce, send me the Grease album. Said that she had it, and obviously she doesn't listen to it anymore. Or I don't know the whole backstory there, but she gifted it to me. And y'all, when I opened up that box and saw this album, it's probably been 40 years or more since I've seen it. And the memories that came flooding back, oh my goodness. Even the record, I remember the record when I saw it, and I forgot about the little, and I'm guessing this is supposed to be a cow, I guess. It kind of looks like a
Kind of like an elephant for a minute there.
or a rhinoceros
or a razorback.
hippopotamus. But the flood, oh my goodness, the flood of memories that came roaring in. And then I showed it to Mary Carl, and I was like, Mary Carl, just can you imagine when a new album came out? I mean, look at this. Look what you got compared to today.
I don't even know what you get today.
I mean, look at this. You get all of this. Look at that. I mean, it was such a big deal when you got one of these. I mean, the whole thing. It probably took them no telling how long to put all this together.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You know it?
Yeah, there's no telling. We got the box, and we had no idea what it was. It was a big box, and it was packaged. Miss Joyce just packaged it phenomenal. I mean, Jason is opening the tape, and he could see that it was a record. He could see it through the bubble wrap and whatnot. He's going, please don't be broken. Please don't be broken. The whole time he's a, please don't be broken. Oh, it's not broken. It's so not broken.
She wrapped it so well, but still, I was still worried it was going to be cracked or broken, and it wasn't. It wasn't broken. But yeah, I mean, it just brought back the entire album. I mean, I remember every piece of this album. Every piece.
That's funny.
How beautiful Olivia Newton-John
and
was.
The back of it. Look at the back of it.
Look at that.
I mean, that's something you can look at and occupy your time and listen to the music and read the story and look at the pictures, and it's not.
It was just so awesome back then. I mean, even your dust cover. Look at this.
And it lists all the songs, doesn't it?
All the songs, everybody that was involved in it, all the actors, the cast. I mean, it was just so great back then when you got music.
Well, it's just too bad that era's kind of gone and passed, but you're going to continue to enjoy it.
I am going to continue to enjoy it. And I think this is starting to make a somewhat comeback. I know Walmart now has a section of vinyl records.
Do they really?
And a lot of artists are making vinyl now, but
you know what? Where was I? I think I was at TJ Maxx.
They have a vinyl section too, I bet.
I don't know where I was. It wasn't TJ Maxx. I was somewhere, and I saw a
record.
That's going to drive me crazy. I can't remember. No, I hadn't been to Target in a long time.
Had to be. Probably.
Walmart, son.
Walmart.
Go. Only place we have.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thrift store or anything. It was somewhere that sold new ones.
I got you.
And I remember thinking, wow, records are back.
Mm-hmm.
Records are back.
Records are back. I love going to. I'll spend an hour looking through them at the thrift store.
And Mary Carl's fascinated with a tape player.
She is fascinated with a tape player.
Every time we go to a thrift store, I'll say, what are you looking for? And she's like, I love a tape player. I'm like, what do you need more than one for?
That's right.
What do you? She only has one, but she likes to look at tapes too. She likes to look at tapes.
But I was just, oh goodness, back then. Well, we haven't said anything, but I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah. Christmas. I've got to get the tree down today. I really do. It's crunchy. It's crispy. I asked on my last video, when do people take down their decorations?
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many different answers. Like some people said the next day. I saw this reel. Oh, it was Edie. My friend Edie. She posted this reel, and it said December the 26th, and it was this woman going around real fast, taking down everything that, had to do with Christmas and packing it away and just getting it done. But I wouldn't be so quick to take the tree down if it wasn't that it's live.
Yeah.
And it's got to go.
It's got to go. This tree, beautiful tree, one of my favorites ever, but it seemed to die real quick.
It quit absorbing water.
And the reason why I know it quit absorbing water is that I would fill it up every day. No problem. I had a jug. I knew exactly where to fill it up.
Y'all even saw it.
Y'all saw me, and I would fill it up every single day. And thank y'all. I got so much feedback on how to fill that tree up without me crawling around on the ground.
I almost spit my coffee.
There was one.
Thank you, Roseanne.
There was one that was really popular, was a pool noodle.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or a piece of PVC pipe.
Well, I don't have to watch the video to figure out what people are talking about. I knew they were talking about watering the tree because there were so many different solutions.
So many different solutions. I had a gentleman send me an email. He said, I have never thought of this, issue or problem until you brought it up. And he said, it makes perfectly good sense to figure out how to. I guess it was a man thing, you know. He said, so I'm going to do a piece of PVC pipe and I'm going to put red tape around it and make it look like a candy cane and just have it sitting over there by the tree. Yeah. And it won't look like a piece of PVC pipe sitting there.
Well, I can remember a couple of days in after getting the tree, I asked Jason, I said, have you been watering this tree? And he said, well, I have to move all those presents out of the way and I have to lay on the floor. And last year, I can remember me watering the tree a whole lot. Like it was my job. I did it.
Yeah.
And I had not a lot of problem. This year, I couldn't get down on that floor and water that tree and get back up.
Well, how I knew that something was wrong was that I've been watering a tree every day. So this particular day, I went and watered the tree and I didn't check it. I haven't checked it because it's always soaked it all up. Mm-hmm. I went and watered the tree.
Gosh, Joseph.
Goodness, Joseph.
Thank you. Wonder Woman. Oh, that's funny.
And the next thing I know, I see water start going all over the floor. And Brooke's mom had put some presents under there. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I don't know what's in these presents. I don't know if it's clothes. And so I'm snatching them out. Snatching them out.
I go in the den and there are all Mama's presents are like all over the floor, in the middle of the floor. And I said, Jason, what's wrong? And he said, Brooke, the tree's leaking.
And I thought that the base was leaking, and it wasn't leaking. It was that I have overfilled it
because it wasn't
absorbing it. And so, yeah, it's crunchy. It doesn't look that bad, but if you go over and touch it, it's starting to get it's
well,
bad.
I can imagine when we go to take the ornaments off.
Yeah.
It is going to be a massive mess.
You're going to have to wear long sleeves because it'll irritate me. Does it irritate you?
No, and I'll take care of getting it down.
When it's live, it doesn't bother me that bad. Mm-hmm. But when it's dead or starts dying like that, and it starts, I have little red dots all over me where I had them. I don't know what that is.
Well, I told Catherine that our tree had been overflowed or anyway. That, the water had been going on the floor and that she told me that she wished she had concrete floors. That's where that came in.
Oh, okay.
And I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. If we had not had concrete floors, they'd have been ruined.
Yeah, it would have been. If we'd have had wooden floors, definitely. I guess
for sure.
That's new type floor. And, I guess would have been okay. But yeah.
So I'm thankful to have had concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And to continue to have concrete.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Somebody said I ought to help Mary Carl make a mixtape. I have been tempted to buy an old school used old one. Now, not a new one. I'm sure they make remodels, but that old school stereo, with a double tape deck and and the record player on top.
The one that I had in my room.
Well, all of us had. All of us had in our rooms.
Well, yours was gone by the time we met. I still had mine when we met. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what kind of tree was it?
We don't know.
I can't remember.
It was a live tree.
I think it was a Leland cypress. I think that's what it was. I'm almost positive that's what it was.
And no, we did not stain our concrete floors. I wanted to, but in my mind, I also said if we put color on these concrete floors, it's going to be just like getting tired of a finish or a wood finish.
And you kind of don't know how it's going. It's that. I guess that's the cool thing about it. You don't know what it's going to look like, but at the same time, that's kind of exciting because it's all different variations and stuff.
So we just sealed ours, and we're satisfied with it.
We are satisfied with it.
We are
very much.
Does concrete hurt our legs or feet?
Hasn't yet. Nope.
Or maybe that's the whole thing that's wrong with us. Maybe we've been saying it's because we're getting older, but it's because we have concrete.
And it's my elbow, though.
Well, you've been crawling around on the floor trying to water that Christmas tree.
Before then, I ain't been doing any handstands.
No, I don't think it's. We're outside.
We really are outside.
We only sleep in the bed, and other than that, we're throw that tree in the pond. Michael said.
I'm probably gonna do that.
A lot of people feed it to the goats, feed it to their goats, and I don't want Jesse and Honey to get bloat from it.
It's probably maybe too crunchy for them too.
They probably wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't even eat it.
Probably wouldn't. Somebody want to know what Mary Carl got for Christmas. She had a birder Christmas.
She did.
She had a birder Christmas. I can tell you. She got a one of those bird houses. It's got the camera on it. And we got
bird feeder
with a camera on it, and got an owl box, and she got a lot of shirts and stuff with birds on it, and so yeah, she had a good one. A good one.
Yeah.
Stuff for her camera.
Yeah.
And her new binoculars.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Needed things for birding.
Yep.
So
we got so many nice things from you guys, and cards. We're still getting cards, and we read every single one of them. And we got a stack of cards from Mr. Caden that we're going to bring to him. And I just wanted to thank you guys so much. And we had one that kind of caught me by surprise. And this person obviously is an expert on donkeys and miniature horses, because she is an author of 2 books about donkeys and miniature horses, and caring for them, and training, and even selecting. And that is Miss Donna. And she sent us these books and said she has been a fan of ours for a long time. And it's always cool or neat or, just
to relate to people.
Well, not only that, humbling that this author of these amazing books watches us.
Yeah, right.
What's
her name? Donna.
Her name is Donna Campbell Smith.
And miniature horses and donkeys, and she probably has written other books, but we didn't go that far to look up, other writings.
Yeah.
But how nice of her to send us those.
I just thought that was really, 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 really cool.
Who's the author again?
Donna Campbell Smith.
Donna Campbell Smith.
But it was just neat that that a expert and author on those that watches our channel and has been watching it.
That's right. That's right.
Blows my mind sometimes.
She wrote a nice letter, and she had been following us pre-COVID, I believe.
I think so. Or right around that time.
Yeah, and I don't know when those books were written, but she's got a lot of good information in those books, and we appreciate it.
She does.
Now, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say also, I got several emails. Y'all know around Halloween, I got some from parents whose children dressed up like Farmer Jason for Halloween. I also had some of parents who purchased either some shirts or ornaments or something like that, or books, and sent me videos or pictures of their children with their books, and y'all, oh my goodness, absolutely, I don't know, blows me away.
Yes.
Blows me away. And
Jason has watched the videos that have been sent more than once because he
so
smiles
cute.
the entire time he watches it. That is his element, is with children.
So I tell you what I did. So the parents, nobody had no idea. So I got these videos and emails from the parents, and I went back to them and I made a quick little video of
with the kid's name and
I told them Merry Christmas, and I was with an animal, either Peaches or Gus and Loretta this particular day. And so without the parents or anybody knowing, instead of me typing response to the email, I sent them a video, a little short, probably 10-second video wishing them a Merry Christmas. And y'all, the reaction to those parents and children were unreal. It was a good surprise for them.
Yes, it was.
And it was a good surprise to me back when the parents responded back.
How many times they have watched it and replayed it, and that their child was so happy to get a personalized video from Farmer Jason.
That's right.
Now, I received something, and I do not know who it was from. So, obviously, we go to the post office quite regularly, and this particular package was sealed up like this. I did that, trying to open it, but it was sealed completely up, and inside there was bubble wrap. The bubble wrap was completely sealed up.
It was sealed.
Inside is this little red box, and you open it up, and there was obviously at one time a necklace and some earrings.
Mm-hmm. At least earrings. I'm assuming that little slot was a necklace or something.
There is no indication of who it came from.
Mm-hmm.
And the contents were not there.
Nothing in there.
It came just like this, and I do not believe that's any fault of the sender. I believe it's the merchant that they ordered it from.
Right.
Their quality control just missed that there was no product in there. So if you think that you may have been the sender of this, I thank you, first of all. But I also want you to know that you may need to reach out to the company, or you can reach out to me and I can give you some more information, because it was nothing in the package. Right. It did not get stolen. That didn't happen because, I mean, it was completely sealed from the factory. Mm-hmm. There was no sign of tampering. It didn't happen in the mail.
And there was no receipts, no nothing in there.
It never got put in the box. It was not mail theft. So you can open the back part of it. I thought, well, maybe it was underneath. There's nothing there.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep.
So the manufacturer just missed that one. And I hate it.
Ooh. So Tony said, in case we missed it, the rescue donkey and emu now live 30 minutes from them.
Oh, yeah.
And he's planning to volunteer at the donkey rescue this spring.
That is awesome.
That is so awesome.
That is awesome. That whole story, if you missed it, Jason put a video out on Christmas Day, and it was that fact that the rescue facility that's out of Virginia went all the way to Gunnersville, mm-hmm. and they had, I believe it was 4 people, mm-hmm. and they got the emu and the donkey loaded up on the trailer and back to Virginia.
Yeah.
Back to Virginia. And Mr. Jim, of course, he's the one that reached out to us initially. He was there to help. There were some park employees there to help. And I couldn't be happier with the outcome, knowing that he doesn't have to go there and feed them anymore. Of course,
right.
He didn't see it as a burden, but he was concerned for their welfare.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got your problem. Oh, goodness. And Mr. Jim, he is a good man for making sure that those animals were rescued.
That's pretty awesome that they.
And we just didn't have the, we didn't have the ways or the means to get those animals loaded up.
He sent some pictures, and I tried to put everything there, but one of them, they had all kind of cattle panels and chutes, and so and then y'all saw the gentleman's leg where that emu
ripped his pants.
And emus are they can be unpredictable, and But luckily, no one got hurt.
What was the name of the rescue? Do you remember?
It is Peaceful Valley Donkey Rescue.
And they have a website as well as a Facebook
page
account and a YouTube channel.
And I've added all the links to that video. So if you go back and read the video description, they're right there at the very top of that video description.
But if y'all haven't, let them know. Thank you for that's phenomenal that they came all this way to rescue those babies.
Yep. And there was 4 park rangers that helped too.
That's right.
Yep.
They felt, everybody needed to get involved.
Yeah.
In order to get the animals rescued.
Right.
And that did indeed happen. And just so thrilled. We never looked at it as a wasted trip at all. I mean, we drove 5 hours that day and came home empty-handed, but it wasn't empty-handed because in the end they were rescued.
And I made a mistake. I didn't think I said Tony, he or she, but Tony is a she. So I do apologize if I said that incorrectly.
Thank you, Maggie. That's very sweet of you. Emu eggs. Catherine has not had any hatch yet, but she is updating as days go by. I think she's getting close to the second or to a date that some of them are supposed to hatch. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
She's got it all written down. All I know is when she tells me that she moves them to the hatcher.
Right.
And they're in sequence, it might be 3 or 4 at a time. So up to this day, none have hatched, but that may change. This is not helping.
Okay.
I drank my coffee too fast.
And I will say this. Emu eggs are hard to incubate and hatch. They are it's not like a chicken, a duck, or goose, or anything like that. They're very hard. We tried it several years ago before Nugget. We had 4. And
we videoed it.
We did. We made a video about it. And Holly, don't chew your bed. But we had 4, and one of them was fertile, and they got all the way to the end and didn't make it. But they're very, very hard. Very hard. It
quit moving, and when it quit moving, we opened it up and we saw that the emu was fully formed in our case.
Yeah.
But it had not absorbed its yolk sac. And I don't know what happened, but I know that it was more than we were willing to take on.
Yeah.
And I think that while Catherine was up for the challenge, she's like a scientist.
Yeah.
I think right now, I think she would say it's more difficult than what she expected.
Yeah, it's
especially since
tough.
She hasn't had any results out of it. That's kind of depressing. I mean, not to be selfish, but you go through all this and you spend a whole lot of time and a whole lot of dedication to it, and then there's no results. I mean, that's depressing.
And I watched several videos when we were hatching ours, and yeah, it's if people that actually do it all the time, and yeah, it's emu eggs are very, very hard to hatch.
Yes, they are.
Very hard to hatch.
Yes, indeed. So she's hanging in there, and she's still hopeful that she will at least get one out of this batch, but you don't ever know.
Right.
You don't ever know.
Update on a couple of animals. Matilda's doing well. She's responding well to the physical therapy that we're doing daily, and she is doing quite well. And I'll probably do a video on her and show y'all the progress next, because it's amazing.
It really is.
Snow White looks like she's back to herself.
Jason, I had already been to the barn a couple of days ago, and I noticed that Snow White was doing way better. Well, Jason got to the barn and he immediately sent me a text. He said, Snow White seems normal.
She does. She seems back to normal.
And I don't, I think to myself, okay, so I did 3 treatments. I don't know which one worked. I was told to go in heavy and treat everything because birds can go down as we know, at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
So I'm going in heavy and I'm treating 3 things, but I wish I could narrow it down and figure out what helped her. I don't know. I mean, she can't tell me, but was it parasites? I don't know. I mean, she had a fecal performed at the vet when we initially took her. And of course, there were no parasites then, but parasites can happen quickly. Was it parasites? Was it coccidia? Was it an infection? We don't know. But nonetheless, she is not hunched over anymore.
Yep.
Matter of fact, yesterday she spent the day outside. She had access to come back in, but it was the first day that she had felt like going in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And
plus, we have no idea how old she is. I mean, she could be 20. We have no idea.
No, it's
No
not.
idea.
It's not the bird flu, y'all. Bird flu, when it hits, they drop dead. There's no signs of sickness. There's everybody. I mean, they just start dropping dead.
And it would start going through your whole.
It's not like she's just a carrier.
Yeah.
All the chickens would be dead. Everything would be affected, not just one bird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thought, to think that, because it is prevalent and it's everywhere, but no bird flu. Definitely not bird flu. Vet was not even the slightest bit concerned.
They didn't even mention it.
But I was thinking when I first found her all hunched up that it was old age, and my heart sunk because I felt like, what if she's to the end? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it if that's the case, but I didn't know. And I'm just glad I did what the vet recommended, because 3 treatments, obviously one of them worked.
Something worked. Whatever cocktail one of them worked.
Thank you. McQueen.
Yep. Mary Carl, she gonna want to go to the thrift store.
She gonna want to go to Bama Bucks when they open back up.
We are gonna have some sketchy weather today. I hope everybody in the area is gonna be safe and sound. It's James Spann, our main weather guy. He seemed to think yesterday that it was trending towards not being that bad, but this morning it looks like we're back to everybody being on their toes today. And
I did open the door up for Snow White and her dwarfs, but I'm going to when I see that the weather's getting closer, I'm going to shut that door and allow Nugget and
I got you
and Goldie and then the geese to come back and be in that stall for shelter if they so choose to. Of course, I can't make them, but sometimes they want to get out of the weather. And
that's right.
The temperatures are extremely warm.
Yeah, I mean, we went from having probably the 2 coldest days that we've had, and now look, I got my sleeves rolled up. It's probably going to be 70 something degrees again today. But they're talking about just heavy storms. I saw heavy wind and possibly tornadoes in our area. So, and that's from Louisiana all the way to Alabama.
Yeah. So not good.
Not good.
I want to say good morning to Miss Sue. How are you down there in Florida, Miss Sue? Good morning to you. Don't usually catch her comments, but she's somebody that's very important to us. And
hey, Miss Sue.
And appreciate you, Miss Sue.
Yeah, I saw Ryan Hall said yesterday he was going to be on today for 12 plus hours. So yep, Arkansas all the way up. I don't know what all, but it's the southeast that I think Texas may have had it some yesterday, and it's starting to come on across, headed our way. And I'm assuming Georgia and some of Florida and the Carolinas will probably get some of it too. So,
well, I just hope that it's moving a little bit faster than what they expect, and we're not into wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, that's when I can't stand it, when it's
into the middle of the
2:30 in the morning. And I always feel like I'm the protector, so I won't hardly sleep, and I'll have all my warnings on and Ryan Hall on and the local on. And yeah.
And Holly gets scared when the weather radio makes a beep. So it's, it kind of raises everybody's level up a little bit.
And she probably can feel we're anxious too.
Oh,
the dogs. Yeah.
I'm sure she can. We'll make sure we get Dee Dee was sitting. she got down off the couch and she was sitting on the floor, and all of a sudden she just went and rolled over. That was funny. You'd
That
have to
was
see
funny.
it. Who was that? Lena?
Is it Lena?
I
Miss
can't-
Shay.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Shay. Oh my goodness,
Karen.
Karen. Y'all,
Man, that's
look at there, Susan.
Goodness gracious,
Thank
y'all.
y'all. Mary Carl's gonna be. Yep. I don't know how much thrifting we can get in before the storm comes, but I guarantee you, when she finds out, she's gonna be like, "Mama,
She's gonna be...
we got." I said something to Jason the other day, and that is that we have a pawn shop here in Chilton County, and I have never been in it.
Yep.
And Mary Carl has never been in a pawn shop. She loves thrifting.
Mm-hmm.
Pawn shops are a little bit different. I've never personally found anything.
You know, I always feel pawn shops are just, and I shouldn't feel that way, but it's like, you know, like that, you know, where
That show that you watch.
well, not Pawn Stars, because to me they just, you know, made that look glamorous. But pawn shops always feel like it's where the thief is the, you know, the
Yeah, it might be stolen merchandise.
yeah,
or
and he
something.
goes and takes it to the pawn shop,
Yeah.
and they're in cahoots. The pawn owner knows the guy's a thief, and I don't know. It's just the TV and shows and movies make it seem that way, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there are some out there, but pawn shops are great for tools. That's what I figured.
I can't tell you how many times I've drove by there and I've wanted to stop, and it just hasn't been. It hasn't been right so far. I haven't been able to stop. Somebody said pawn shops are expensive. Well, yes, because they have to look things up to figure out,
Yeah,
you know, what it's worth and what they can charge for it. But you can always say, you know, would you take less? Would you take less? Matter of fact, I went into, I told y'all, a thrift store in Selma when I was last in there on Friday, wasn't it? Last Friday. And I found me, I gotta find this. I found me a cast iron skillet. And I said, I've been wanting a cast iron skillet, but I want it to be like a muffin tin. I
want a muffin tin one.
A cast iron muffin tin.
Yep.
Where are you, Tony? There you are. I sent it to Tony. And so I found this one. It really wasn't what I was looking for.
But it's pretty cool.
It was cool. It was something I don't see every day.
Mm-hmm.
And this was it. It was the cast iron. It has the dividers, you know, to make cornbread into slices. And I sent it to my buddy, Tony Green, Catherine's husband. And I said, is this worth $30? And he said, flip it over and see what it says on the back. So I flipped it over and I sent him a picture of the back of it. And it says Lodge, but then it says Cornbread Skillet.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, does it say cornbread? And I said, yes, it says Cornbread Skillet. He said, offer him 20. I said, Tony, I said, if it's at a thrift store, or what do you call that?
Flea market.
Well, people had booths.
Yeah.
And he said, offer him 20.
Indoor flea market.
And I said, Tony, this is a flea market. He said, perfect place to ask. See if they'll take 20. And so I knew that they had already called the person to see what they wanted for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not offer them 20 for it. I just passed on it. But this is what I was actually looking for. And I sent Tony a picture of it because he has a lot more connections than me. That is something you don't see every day.
Yeah.
That is a cast iron muffin tin. And lo and behold, Tony said he'll be on the lookout for me.
I could get obsessed with cast iron. I could see it. I could be Tony Jr.
Well, Tony said you just gonna have to come over here and look because
Well,
I got
Tony
one
has
of
a
those.
piece for me. I had to go over and
no, he's got one of those. He said he would give me the cornbread pan that I
okay.
offered $30 for.
Well, we paying for it.
No, I said I'm gonna wait for the one that I want.
I tell you, the one that I love that's hard and is expensive is the cast iron waffle maker. That thing it's got a stand.
It electric?
No, you set it over your burner.
Oh,
and
cool.
It flips, and it's all cast iron, made in the 20s.
Oh,
yeah. But they're expensive and they're fairly rare. Somebody's got a cast iron muffin pan.
Huh?
Miss Jody.
Well, you are fortunate to have that because I've looked on eBay and I know that they're for sale there, but it's just something about finding it.
It
and the
is.
thrill of coming across something you've been looking for.
And something about the old ones, that thing's got a story, and there's no
Yeah.
telling how much of that story is inside that cast iron.
Yeah, I
and
don't want
just,
a recreated one. I don't want one of the current time. I want one that's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on
There's
Amazon. I could get a recreation, but I don't want that.
There's a guy I love to follow. He's on Instagram called Cast Iron Chris, and he restores cast iron. People send it to him, and he does it all the time. And I watch him forever. But yeah, he's pretty cool. And so here's the thing that's so controversial about cast iron. And this guy is a cast iron expert.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Scott, our friend Chef Scott Peacock, that you can actually use soap on your cast iron.
Well, you bought me something to use on my cast iron, and I love it. And you found it from Meredith Bernard, didn't you?
I did. Farmer's wife.
Farmer's wife. She uses this on her cast iron. And if y'all don't have one and you use cast iron,
it is awesome.
It is a chain.
It's like chainmail, but it's used to clean cast iron with.
It is phenomenal.
It is awesome.
It is so cool. I use it all the time. Much better than using a scoring pad or anything harsh. You just take that chain. I asked Catherine, I said, does Tony have one of these? She said, no, but I'm going to get him one.
It's awesome.
Just a piece of chain that will get the debris and the nastiness.
There's a lot of people are saying Lester's dad is a big collector of cast iron, and then if you ever want anything, ask him.
Wow. Well, that's nice.
I may reach out to Lester.
Well, Tony says you got to come look at his.
I am.
He's got a big collection.
I have to go over there and
maybe Tony needs to change his channel
to Cast Iron Tony
instead of Campfire and Countryside to Cast Iron Tony.
Cast Iron Tony.
We got to think of a snazzy name. Can't be Cast Iron Tony.
Cast Iron Tony.
Okay.
I like Cast Iron Tony.
Well, I have to go and pick up a birthday cake.
Oh yeah.
This morning, a local lady made. I did not want to ask Zoe because obviously the weekend are their family time, and I know somebody's going to say, "Why didn't you get Zoe to make it?" Zoe's cakes are the bomb. The bomb. I mean, but I would not want to ask her to make it because she would feel obligated, and so have somebody local make a Mary Carl's birthday cake, and I'm going to go pick it up.
That's right.
Don't even. The lady said, don't you want something specific on it rather than it just being pretty? I said, no, ma'am, just make it pretty for a 15-year-old.
That's right.
So I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to be determined. Maybe I'll post a picture of it.
I think so. Lala's does good stuff. So
yeah,
I miss where she used to be located.
Yeah,
she used to be located around the corner from the Main Street Cafe that we like to eat. And there would be days that me and Mary Carl have gone by ourselves to eat at Main Street. And when we leave there, we would walk around the corner and go to Lala's and get cupcakes.
That's right. And so where it is now, we have to physically get in the car.
That's right.
And thank you, Bridget, and drive to Lala's new location, which is probably best because that eliminates us having so many extra calories. But we are done with Zoe's cake, and it was perfect timing.
It was.
Mary Carl said to us, Mama, we're going to have 2 cakes. If Zoe made us this cake, and then I'm getting my birthday cake. And we were like, don't worry, darling. Zoe's cake will be gone long before that. And it is.
That's right.
It is gone.
That's right.
So cake continues. Well, I will have a video out tomorrow.
That's right.
Y'all just say some prayers for all that are in the path of weather, and hopefully no bad will happen.
No bad.
Anywhere.
That's
I'm
right.
not just talking about us.
Absolutely.
We don't want any bad weather anywhere. And we're gonna celebrate. What camera feeder did you buy, Jason? Bird feeder.
Starts with a V.
We're satisfied with it, I'll tell you that. I've seen some pictures off some birding sites that we follow, and I feel like this one's clearer.
It's called Vico, VICO Home, and they do other cameras too, like security cameras, like Rio Link and Ring and all those other people. But
And
they
we're
do.
not sponsored by them, by all means. It's we.
I don't know particularly why I got this one, but it obviously had good reviews. And
Are
there's
there any
nobody-
birds there now?
No, not now. Well,
Tucker must be out there. Tucker's in the garage. I can tell you where Tucker is. What happened? It says sleeping.
I don't know. It just was up there.
It
Anyways,
takes really good pictures, and we have enjoyed being able to see. You got a picture to show?
takes videos too. It's been raining, so it's got some raindrops on
Oh,
it.
it flew away. The bird
But,
flew away.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it. Mary Cross, I mean, she watches it a lot. And she gets it where it sends her alert when a new bird comes up there.
And it'll
Yeah.
say person detected sometimes.
Yep.
And Mary Carl gets so tickled because it thinks a bird looks like a person. All right. So we hope are you finished with your coffee?
Yep.
I'm needing another cup today.
I can get you another one.
I'm needing it. Get your cup. We gotta do the cheers. All right. So we hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend. And we'll be back here on Tuesday at 4:00. That's the plan anyway.
Yep.
We'll let y'all know if anything changes. And hope you all have a wonderful
Wonderful day.
weekend.
Wonderful weekend too.
That's right. Everybody.
Y'all be good.